What's going on, everyone? Kami here, and today we're going to be doing another Coach Kami. This one's going to be of a longtime subscriber to me on Twitch, Yattta, and he's also a patron. Fancy. Now, Yattta has informed me that they are a little bit of a Terminus one trick, and they're looking to branch out to other champions. Well, today they tried MalDamba. I'm not sure exactly what rank this is, but I can tell you that they said that they normally split around like D1 to low masters, so they're definitely up there. So I don't know if I'll be able to help them out that much, but let's see. Now, Yattta doesn't actually go through their loadout at any point, but they do bring up the scoreboard and we can go through the loadout right here. They have many gourds at 4 that reduces the cooldown of gourds by 2 seconds, I believe. 4 is Swift Spirits, giving an extra 28%. Yeah, that's math. Movement speed to allies hit, I think, if it goes by 7% increments. And 4 at Eerie Presence, which gives seconds off if they miss a right click. And then they have 2 at Possession, which gives them, I'm trying to remember this off my head, but it gives the damage reduction when they have Admitting Spirits up. And I think that you have the core of what you want in a loadout. You've got the many gourds, you've got Possession at a 4, and you've got those two, and you have some sort of possession, right? Those are pretty much in all loadouts that I've seen for Damba, if they're focusing on healing, which they normally are. My only suggestion is many gourds is my favorite, and if at all possible, try cranking it up to a 5. Swift Spirits is actually pretty sweet, and I played a couple of games on a tank where I had someone on my team with Swift Spirits, and every time they healed me, I was like, oh, I feel it. So I could definitely see that, especially considering you have an Inara that might want to get out. She doesn't have any movement abilities, and a Khan who has a little bit of a movement ability, but not too much. Let's move on to the gameplay. Oh, and the first item that they went with was Kronos. So here we go, starting off that first gourd going on to the Inara, but it was going to point, but normally it was at point. So I think maybe throwing that over at the Khan, trying to hold off the left side would have been better. A gourd over there to help out the Inara is going to be good. A little bit of lag here, but that'll go away to any viewer. It's not you, it's on our part. A little bit of struggle here trying to hit the Leon. Now, staying up in this window, I think, is a really good spot you'll want to do. Be careful that Inara is dropping really low. Yeah, you'll just want to focus on trying to make sure that you keep them topped off, and always try to heal the Inara when she has her rocks up. But that window is a really good spot to sit at, but try not to just sit up there. Always be moving, always be moving. So now it's time to regroup. Wait for your tire to come back. Here comes your Inara, and your Leon's pushed up pretty far. That was just kind of on her. She pushed up too far. It's only 51%, and there's nothing you could have really done. I will note, though, that right here, I'm going to go ahead and rewind it real quick. When you're up here helping the Inara, you have your Q up and you have your right click up, and you can see that she has her damage reduction / increased healing up. So what I probably would have done is right clicked her and popped a gourd down to make sure she can stay topped off. She would have got a lot of that gourd, and then I would have immediately split over to the Khan, and then you'd have your right click up by then, and then of course your Q would be up. You have to cut that out sooner rather than later. I think it's important when you're running 2 tanks to figure out when a gourd's going to be enough for a target, whether it be, usually you want to put it on a tank because DPS are always going to want to be moving, but focusing too much heals on one can be bad, but not focusing one enough can also be bad. I know, it's like, you're not even helping me here, Kami, but you got to find that balance, you know? The fact that you weren't able to focus on a certain target, right now you're focusing on the Khan, now you're trying to go back to the Inara, you want to keep them both alive, but not focusing on one enough is making it so that neither of them feel the confidence to push in to take control of the point. And if neither of them feel confident, no one else is going to go to the point, you're going to lose it. Not saying it's not the worst thing in the world, like I'm not saying you're playing horribly, but it's really minute stuff, because honestly, I think you're a pretty damn good player. I've kind of browsed through this already. There's just minor stuff that can end up costing the game. I would have honestly feared for that Inara. Like, she's sitting there taunting, thinking she's dead, and you're like, hey, I'm a healer, I can heal you. Watch me keep you alive and make you look stupid. Would have been a waste of an ult, but who cares? Kami ults are there anyway. So good job. If anybody notices, notice how I keep saying he or she, listen, notice how Yattta, there we go. When they get behind this pillar, see how they're like not peeking when they need to, you know, like they missed a heal, the cooldown's still going off, they're not peeking. Not peeking makes it so there's not a chance you're going to be getting shot at, and it also makes it so there's a less of a chance for people to see you. A good support will never be known where they are. Like, the enemy teams will have no idea how to get there. The support will have an idea 2 steps ahead of what the opponents are going to do, and make sure that they're always rotating around. Easier said than done, for sure, because you're trying to focus and play whack-a-mole with your whole team's health, but paying attention to what the enemies are doing at the same time is big. And then in a like composed, like a competitive environment, usually a support is calling when to do things, when to ult, when to push, when to fall back, because they have vision on everything. So just keep that in mind as you're playing a support and you're focusing on keeping the heals up. Try to look around a lot and figure out where everyone is. There's not much you can do, but It's whatever. It's a good thing to try to practice on. Turning around to that Leon saying need healing when she had out of combat regen going, it's beautiful, right? I can tell you one thing is I can't count how many times your team spams need healing, and it makes me want to just lose everything. My hats go out to all the support mains that have to deal with this. So this is actually a really good spot to hide behind this tree right here. Again, just keeping it so you're harder to get hit. That Cassie right there, that Cassie in that window over there was picking at you like crazy. Like, look how much damage you're taking. There's one pick, two pick. Not pick, but, you know, pop shots on you, whatever you want to call them. Just make sure you're always strafing in behind and hiding when you don't need to. And just in general, keep moving. Here, you probably would want to dash away right away because you're taking a lot of shots. And then, of course, the Cassie ended up finishing you off. What you gonna do? Okay, so we skip forward to the next round. Little video editing that Yatta did. Kudos. And we don't really get to see the items that they are picking up. They probably didn't pick up anything. They didn't have enough credits. They might have gotten to. How much credits do they have at the end? Okay, no, I'm pretty sure they're just stuck with their normal amount. Oh, skip forward. Yeah, they only have Chronos 1. So let's go on to the fight. A thing I'll probably just notice or mention once, because I don't want to stress on it too much. You're aiming, there's a point at which you were standing back here, like back here, the back left, and you were just standing still and aiming. And this will actually come up here soon, because you do it in the window. And I think it's a really good way to practice your aiming. You're aiming hardcore on your mouse. Some people rely too much on their strafe aiming, and to stop that is literally stand still and aim. That's going to hurt you in the long run, or that's going to hurt you in the short term rather, because it's going to make it so you're incredibly easy to hit, but you're training your arm to actually aim. Another person you could probably do it with is Androxus. If you're floating up in the air, you do very little keyboard movements, so you're forced rather to work on your aim with your hand, your right hand. Assuming you're right-handed, your mouse hand. People rely on strafe aiming too much, a little bit too much. Capture the objective. But I guess what I was trying to stress about there is your sensitivity feels a little bit too high. You seem a little bit jerky when you're trying to make minor adjustments. So I don't know, maybe try lowering your sensitivity. Try to find one that feels comfortable for you. If that feels comfortable for you, then go for it. Just maybe focus on trying to anchor your hand more. If you have high sensitivity. I'm not sure what FPS you're playing at with here, especially because you're recording at the same time. That could affect your aim. But sometimes, I might point it out here, coming up kind of soon, a missed heal or two can result in death. So this is a great time to mention that this is a time when you want the enemies, the tanks to push up, and you want the healer to stay on. I've said this before in the past, I'll say this right now really quickly. If you're capturing a point and enemies are firing at you, you want the tank to be on the point to capture the point. If you have cleared the enemy team and you want to capture the point, you want the healer to be on the point 90% of the time, unless you have like a weird composition where you have like a Grok solo healer. But even on Brightmarsh, you'd probably still want the Grok to be on the point. You'd want this Khan, since he's up here in the middle, he's holding out to the left, you'd want the Inara to watch out to the right side to make sure they can't run in through free. You just saw someone run in through there, and 89%, it would have been good for the Inara to pop up a wall, but now everyone's going to come piling in. The lack of zoning is just going to result in people getting in for free. Trying to heal the Tyra, there's a miss that's huge. You went back to try to heal the Tyra, and you're like, oh, is Tyra coming back? Tyra's not coming back. Now she's ulted, missed another heal. It's just that miss at the very beginning, it just ended up just snowballing into bad news bears. Here's a situation in which you're just holding that spot on the window, and I'm like, you know what, that's kind of nice. You know, you're just focusing on healing, or you're focusing on your aim with your right hand, your mouse hand. Jesus. But you stand still, you're gonna eat rockets to the face at some point. You're gonna take some sort of bullets to the face. So make sure to keep moving. All right, coming back, pop off your mount a little bit early, but you wanna make sure to heal up that Tyra. Tyra stays alive, and now you're gonna make sure to try to get on point and heal up your tanks. They're pretty low, a gourd in the middle there. Another thing I noticed too with your gourds, just try, I feel like you always throw them a little bit too short. Like you aim at the target you want to heal. You do aim up a little bit sometimes, but you want to make sure to, I'd say aim up a little bit more when you throw those gourds. Like here, I try to throw a gourd around the wall. You kind of throw it at the wall, which ends up being okay, but the amount of healing going through there, you can see how much healing is right there. It's kind of hard for the con to be able to stay within the proximity or the radius of that heal, and it just makes it harder. Where if you would have thrown it overthrowing would have been fine too, you would have bounced it off the wall, whatever. You just got fair and balanced. You just really bad timing. You went over there to heal the con and the Drogoz. No one would have anticipated that. Nobody. I guess welcome to Paladins. Hopping off your mount a little bit early. Forced you to slither forward, but you wanted to make sure to get the heal on. Then there. Sometimes I hop off my mount thinking I need to heal someone, and then they don't actually need a heal, and then someone way up in front, I'm like, oh, I should have stayed on my mount longer. You know, Try to keep an eye out for that. Because careful on those heals for the ooh. Keep an eye out for the heals on the Cauterized. Sometimes they can just be absolutely pointless. They don't have a Leon on the other side, but just keep track of what the other enemies' COD is. If you can, take a note about who's shooting, you know? So like if a Cassie has COD 3 and you see them shooting at the Leon, healing them is probably not going to help out much. And if you see at the corner of your eye someone else that doesn't have COD that needs healing, focus healing on them because that'll actually help. You might upset the damage that's low and then they're like, oh my god, this healer didn't even try to heal you, but you would have done like 10 HP per second. Like it just wouldn't have been worth it. Another thing, this kind of goes with the whole gourd placement and the gourd, like where to aim on your gourds. It feels like sometimes you just kind of throw your gourd, you just kind of throw it willy-nilly. And what I mean by that is you see where you need to throw it, but you don't really have an idea of how you want to line it up. So right here, you can just kind of see like, you know you want to throw it, you know you want to aim up a little bit, but you know there's a sign there. I think that's a really bad example of what I'm talking about because that's kind of unlucky that there's a sign there. It's actually pretty funny that it bounces back behind you. But I'll try to point it out again. Along with the pointing out of the sensitivity issue of you missing a few heals that maybe would have been life or death if you would have nailed them. But people miss. I mean, it happens. Here's actually a situation in which you get really close. So here's where you're focusing on left clicking. Maybe want to focus on that Inara, but right here you get a great stun and then you just miss. And that little overcorrection that you do right here, you just kind of like snap over to the left a little bit, you miss the heal, and they're dead. It's rough scruff McGruff. Now on this push, you actually do a really, really amazing thing, and you stay alive for a long time, and I'll make sure to point that out when we get to it. But right now, staying behind everything, making sure to keep an eye on them. Always make sure you keep an eye on when the Inara has the shield up to make sure that you can get the healing out as much as possible. Don't know if it was worth taking all that damage from the Fernando, maybe just slithering away right away instead of getting that stun, because he just put up a shield to block it. That being said, though, the shield is down. Good job trying to avoid the Spitfire. Luckily, he wasn't able to detonate it, because that would have hit you anyway if he would have detonated it properly. Another thing I've noticed, too, is the overhealing of targets. Your cooldown is short, right? So it's understandable, but that being said, good stun and slither there. Try to always keep your right click up for people that actually need it. Popping a heal on them, I always do it too when tanks go to point. One, you have the movement speed that you're giving them, and two, you give them the healing over time. But there's situations where you just kind of like, you see someone that needs a heal, and you heal them, and then you're not, oh god, that scared the crap out of me. You're not really looking around to see if someone else needs a heal, so you're just like, your placement, your crosshair placement's near the person you just healed, and you're like, I'll just right click them again, and then you look over to the side, and you're like, oh crap, another person needs a heal. And if you just would have looked before you healed, would have been better. So try to always just be looking around for your targets. And another great place, obviously, is up at the top left. I don't want to move my mouse over there because it's going to cause the thing to drop down, but it's always good to look at the top left, figure out who needs heals. And just try to keep a general idea. Like most of the time it organizes it so you can know the tanks are on the right side of your screen up the top left, and then the DPS are next to them. So if you can glance up really quickly and see someone that needs a heal that's over on the right side, you know it's a tank. If you know if it's in the middle, DPS. Yes, Kami, you just reiterated the same thing twice. You're welcome. This is actually a spot in which you do a really good job. Notice that you're struggling right there, I guess right there, for the heal on the Tyra. It's rough. That's where the sensitivity comes into play. But this is where you play really well. Like, look at you using this cover here. It's huge. That wall plus right there just adding you additional cover. You push out a little bit to try to get some heals, but you know immediately when you need to back out. And now you just peek out just for that split second to be able to pop that heal. And I will say that this is just kind of you just playing well and being able to look at that, just perfect pop heal right there. That's beautiful. People might be wondering, I was probably talking right there, why you slithered. Listen. So I think why Yatta did that was you heard the Spitfire from the Drogos. They anticipated, give it a couple seconds. They were probably waiting for the Spitfire to roll out. Then they're going to left click. They were low, so they wanted to be safe. So they slithered what they anticipated to be the timing of the Drogos Spitfire blow up. If so, amazing. If not, weird. I'm pretty sure they tried to time it with the Spitfire though. Fernando ult comes out. Stand back, baby.
Cassie on the low.
Another jump scare. Spoopy. But good job. So now it's probably time to finish out your Chronos, which you do. And now you're looking to figure out what other item you're going to want to pick up. You have 761 credits. Fernando is Blast, Terminus is Blast, Drogoz is Blast, and Cassie is actually going Impulse this game, I believe. So that's Blast. So Blast would be a pretty good pickup. You could end up going with Deft Hands if you like. And as for the green, the only one that's really viable is Kill the Heal for Damba, in my opinion. Unless you like running dual heals. Light Grip, definitely not good. Veteran, not good. And Rejuvenate, you're not running dual heals. So either Kill the Heal, Deft Hands, or Blast Shields. And you go with Deft Hands and Blast Shields. Seems good to me. Alrighty then, moving in. Khan's gonna be looking for a flank on the right side and the... Hello? What the hell did Khan grab a Drogoz? Anyway, Khan's pushing it on the right side. You gotta make sure that you keep your eye up on the top left if you're not looking over to the left at the Inara, because the Inara is probably one that's putting the point pressure on. There's a gourd down there, and you can immediately... I like that. You throw the gourd down there on the Khan, you say, that's good enough for you, buddy. If you want to heal, stand on it, and you're good. That was a weird gourd right there. And that dash wasn't really needed. So pretty much what happened right there was they were going in for a flank on the Tyra, and then your tanks started to get pressure on point. This is where you have to make the decision. Do you want to keep your tanks alive or help out your Tyra? I would have attempted to at least backed up a little bit and look to the left to see if I could heal the Tyra, because you know the Cassie's coming up behind. If you could just get the Tyra to topped off, that might help deal with the Cassie flank, and then bam, they're down a champion. That being said, though, you're wasting a right click. You're not wasting, but you're choosing to use a right click on the Tyra instead of it on the heals over there. You could also ult the Terminus that pushes on you. That seems legit. But the Cassie ended up taking out the Tyra in the back line. That's not good. All right. Inara's dead there. That's rough. And notice, yeah, you use your dashes a lot to kind of reposition, which is not a terrible thing, but it can end up causing you death, just like kind of right there. Popping off your mount early to get the heal on the Tyra to allow her to push in for the damage. I think that is a smart move. And now your tanks are on point, and they're just looking to keep them topped off just to get those last 13% to get added on. Right now, it might be tempting to go onto the point to help get the last 10%, but it's just not worth it. Keep everyone topped off, especially the Fernando ulting. Don't want it. A lot of ults down right there. And you have a little bit of time, so... Ooh, bad timing with the Inara to push in. You might not be able to keep her topped off. She's got her right click up, but... Oh! Drogo's coming around looking to punch someone. Watch out behind you with a dash. That was good. So close. But I think you guys did a lot of damage. The Drogoz was able to get finished off by the Khan. That was decent gameplay right there. I mean, the good dash, anticipating the Drogoz to come up behind you. It sounded like he was behind you, and you got the point captured, so no arguments there. I like the Blast Shield pickup. So far, not really anything to point out other than slithering a lot. A little bit of unnecessary slithering, rather. Gourd aiming up a little bit higher than what you think you want to aim it to. That was actually a pretty good... That was a really good gourd placement right there. But instead of focusing on the left click, maybe we would focus on trying to keep those tanks up a little bit more. But then again, they were cotted. It wasn't Inara. Inara's a different story. Inara's you can just spam the crap the heals and hope that she has her right click up. But like I was saying earlier, your gourd placement, your overhealing sometimes a little bit unnecessary, and then the sensitivity. Did I say that already? I don't remember. Sensitivity, overhealing, and gourd placement. Nope, there it was. Use the gourd to heal up a little bit. Dash forward to make sure you keep people topped off. Seemed unnecessary, but you never know. Like, you might have dashed up there and then someone would have taken poke damage like that Tyra, and you just would have easily been able to heal them up. Tanks are pushing really far forward. They need to be careful about that. But you're doing the right thing, and you're staying on the point to make sure you can keep it progressing forward. They could have a plan to maybe just suicide up there to allow the payload to push up as much as possible, but I don't think it's really worth it in the grand scheme. I think it's worth just to kind of play it cool. Slow them down, but fall back and make sure you can get the heals up. You've actually almost got your ult up again, so you're probably going to want to make use of that as soon as you can, maybe to make this initial push, keep the tanks topped off, be able to get 100% ult, and then use your ult to initiate. Because you can build up your ult so fast. If you could build it up before the 45-second marker, that'd be amazing. Oof. Not gonna happen. Now every second it ticks is when it makes you a little less to use your ult. Especially if it's gonna be a 3-3 situation if you're not able to make this final push. I'd say hold off on your ult from now. 30 seconds is usually a big no-no on your ultimate, especially in the situation where it's gonna be a 3-3, even if you can't pull it off. And then having ult advantage at the very end, not good. Be careful about staying out in the open too much. Try to find a wall, try to find a corner you can kind of poke in behind. Back here is actually a pretty good spot. because you can peek from the left side or you can peek around from the right side. If you can force a Terminus ult out, that'd be pretty amazing. I don't think he will ult, though. He will ult. Not able to hit anything off of it. Tyra just got dropped. You can call this a complete win for you because you got Terminus's ult out, and that Terminus ult sucks. You got to kill him twice. It's redonkulous. Pushed in a little bit too far, but honestly, you're going to need to make sure to keep the tanks topped off. You're doing a great job at keeping them alive. Oh my god. How long can this keep going? There, I maybe would have focused on trying to heal the Inara since she was in there, and they were both cotted, and I think I saw the shield up from the Inara, so maybe you would have anticipated that the shield would, or at least hope that the shield was up still from the Inara, but a really minor thing. I doubt it would have been able to make that big of a difference. And now you have everyone that has an ult up. I mean, Tyra is at 99%, but that's pretty much having your ult up. Rolling in, keeping the heals in the Inara. Surprised she used her right click so early, but what are you gonna do? Pop back there on the heal for the Leon. That is good, but be careful. Make sure. Why is the... He grabbed the Drogos again! Terminus pushing up. Probably want to try to burn that. Keep the heals on the Tyra to keep them topped off. Make sure she can run back. Nice. Oof. There's a situation where that heal not going off. Oh, actually, I think the heal did go off, or is that a gourd? I'm not sure. Oh my god, this music is epic. You hear that? I've been having music turned off since day one of Paladins, so... kind of ridiculous. Almost nailed that stun. Be careful about the Inara in there. Oh, she's stunning. That's going to give you a little bit of time. Can you thread that needle? Not yet. Trying to find the heal on her. There's the heal. That's huge. Keeping her topped off. Now, remember, you have your ultimate up right now, so you're going to be looking to either just... Oh, the Drogo's over on the right side. I was saying if she did... Wait, hold on. Did the Terminus ult? Did the Terminus kill you? You know what? Never mind. I don't know. Maybe they killed someone with a giant kill streak. I wasn't paying attention. I'm terrible. He couldn't have built up the ult already. But anyway, you want to use your ult on someone that's trying to flank you, which probably is not going to happen, and you're going to want to use your ult to try to save out a teammate if they're going to get dropped, because that's going to be one of the worst things, and that's actually a perfect opportunity right there. Ooh, the Drogo's just ulted right through it, though. That sucks, but I like the ult. The Khan had the full shield, which means he could have held it as long as he needed to for you to ult and try to keep out most of the damage. Look at all that stuff you can do with Damba, man. Left click, stun, throw a gourd, throw a heal on someone else, shoot, throw out a stun, throw out a gourd, heal someone. That's why I love Damba. Love him, love him, love him. Fernando's going to be trying to get in there the last minute, but I don't think he's going to be able to make a difference. Great job at staying away from the point. Like, there's no reason for you to be on point. Your tanks are on point. If you are on point, you are taking splash damage you don't need, and if you die, then that's how the staggers that they come in with is actually going to matter. Good gameplay, man. I'm going to wrap this up here real quick and say thank you so much to Yatta for sending in this video for me for Coach Kami. If anybody wants to submit their own Coach Kami, remember, you have the requirement of either needing to be a subscriber on Twitch or a Patreon. It's a way for me to say thank you to the people that are able to take their hard-earned cash and throw it in my face and say, I like you, take this, because it's how I make my living. And of course, I thank everyone else that's supporting me by watching these videos. But ways you can help me without spending a dime. Watching my videos through and through helps my watch time and helps tell YouTube that you like my videos, so it pops up in more related videos. Hitting the like button improves the interactive rate of my videos and again helps YouTube know to promote it. Dropping a comment down there is also incredibly helpful. And of course, hitting that subscribe button on YouTube is an amazing way to support me. Just as a quick recap over Yatta's gameplay, I think the loadout was good. I think the item choices were good. Maybe going for blast shields more over deft hands at the beginning to make sure you can get to blast shields 3 quickly. But you weren't really taking that much damage. The reason I'm kind of against deft hands is because you weren't really needing it. Deft hands to me is something you want to pick up if you're getting flanked a lot and you want to make sure to pull off that stun before you die. Yes, but you weren't really getting flanked that much, so I don't know if deft hands was really needed, and you just want to stop the poke that's coming through from the Spitfire, the impulse, splash radius, stuff like that, you know. Ult usage I think was good, and overall your positioning I think was solid. Maybe a couple of times you were using Slither a little bit too much and it might have put you in a precarious situation, but other than that, maybe look into your sensitivity, maybe to look lower it a little bit, or just work on it how you were doing when you're standing in the window or you're standing out in the middle of the open trying to heal the Leon towards the beginning. Can't remember exactly where it was, but just focusing on your mouse aim. If you do that more and more and more, it'll improve your muscle memory and overall just improve your gameplay. But overall, solid gameplay. Again, this is from someone that normally places around Diamond 1 to low Masters, so they're good. And if anybody in comments wants to tell them how bad they are or how much better they are than the player, as in Yattta, no one cares. And quit posting that crap in the comments. Like, it just makes me so sad. I get it, like YouTube comments can sometimes be incredibly rude and harsh, but let's make my comments section the exception. Probably not gonna happen, and I'm probably going to encourage more toxic comments for this video. You're welcome, Yattta. Haters gonna hate, trollers gonna troll, and commies are gonna head out of here. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so I'm not gonna ask.